audible.com/American.
1, 2, 3. Okay, Sarah, so it's 10:01 on a Friday night in November, and we're sitting on your porch. And it seems pretty quiet.
It's not that bad.
One of the producers of our radio show, Sarah Koenig, moved to a college town because her husband got a job teaching there. And by day, her neighborhood is like a college town that you would see in an old Hollywood film. Beautiful professors' homes built in the 20s and 30s. Tree-lined streets, gardens. But by night, well, we'd been on her porch for 5 minutes when...
They seem drunk. These kids seem drunk. This couple here, they're sort of staggering a bit. I think he's like holding her up or something.
It's 9 students walking down the middle of the street. It happens all the time.
That's noisy, right? It's like it doesn't occur to them at all, I think, that there are people just in these houses trying to sleep. And I kind of remember being that way in college, too, actually.
Yeah, I do, too. 6 minutes later, there's another group of drunk students. One tosses something onto a lawn.
Can you guys pick up your trash, please? Can you pick up your plate, your pizza plate, please? People live here. They pay no attention.
5 minutes after that, we hear this clattering from the alley that runs next to Sarah's house.
Whoa, what was that? Actually, I'd kind of like to know what that was. What's going on?
We run down the alley, and 2 college boys run away as they see us coming. Don't go back there, you could get raped, they yell to Sarah.
See, okay. They just threw somebody's trash can, or drop kicked it up in the air.
12 minutes after that, from the other direction, we hear a scraping and a loud rumbling, I guess.
That's somebody's property. That might have been a sign, actually.
I don't know how many street signs you need to hear dragged through your neighborhood before you can recognize the sound that makes from all the way around the corner, but apparently my colleague Sarah has seen whatever that number is. We got to investigate and find 2 guys.
So just describe what you got here. Stop sign. Nice big pole on it.
Stop sign. That's kind of a big thing when you see it up close, isn't it? Where did you guys find that? Like, where does it belong?
I don't know.
That is a good question.
We just found it on the lawn. We found it on the lawn.
Oh, you found it on someone's
It was
lawn?
already ripped up.
Yeah, it was already on someone's lawn.
We just decided, hey, why not make use of it and take it?
Of course, this story makes no sense at all. I informed the 2 guys that I don't need to know their names.
Well, in that case, we took it from the corner right there. Where that car just turned?
Okay.
Pretty
Pull
sure.
it out of the ground?
Yeah, it was cemented in pretty well. Just good little rocking back and forth between 2 people. Comes right up.
You guys came from like a house party somewhere?
No, we were just hanging out with a bunch of friends, just drinking, taking some shots.
Seems like kind of an academic distinction to me, but... With that, the other guy starts running with the street sign toward Garner Street, which is hard because it's attached to a 7-foot metal pole, and it's heavy. Sarah and I go back around the corner to her front yard. The evening is not over at all. Just in time to spot another student, this one coming out of her garden, Sarah assumes from the bushes back there.
I didn't pee.
Really?
I never peed.
Really?
I was just sitting down.
He goes, and it's not a minute later that Sarah points towards the alley where there are 3 girls in miniskirts, under a streetlight, fully visible.
Oh, peeing. Here, I'm telling you. It's the spot.
One girl hikes up her skirt.
Wait, stay back.
Okay, but they're peeing in my yard. They're peeing in my yard.
Yeah, okay.
That's my car, okay? And 3 feet back is a girl's white ass peeing. We saw her. She stopped. You know, that might be why the plants grow really, really well in that spot. I'm just realizing.
Sarah's caught other groups of girls peeing in that same spot. Once she heard a girl say, "This is a good place. I go here all the time."
They're so embarrassed. There's like muffled giggling happening across the street.
The college town that Sarah lives in is State College, Pennsylvania, home of Penn State University, which this year was named the #1 party school in the country by the people who named the #1 party school, the Princeton Review. And this is apparently what it means to be the #1 party school. From the moment that Sarah and I turned on the tape recorder to the moment that she sent those girls looking for somebody else's yard to pee in, it's only been 34 minutes. It's 1:30 in the morning.
The fact that we saw that much like mayhem is sort of going on at one corner, so that means it's multiply that by, you know, this entire neighborhood and other neighborhoods around. People are peeing everywhere. Garbage cans are getting kicked. Stop signs are getting pulled out of the road. People are littering, you know.
The Princeton Review chooses the number one party school from online student surveys. 120,000 students at 371 schools around the country answered these questions. How widely used are beer, alcohol, marijuana, and other drugs at your school? How big is frat life at your school? And finally, how many hours do you study each day? The students aren't randomly selected, so it's not, strictly speaking, a scientific survey. But the last few years, Penn State has done very well. It was the number 3 party school last year, number 6 the year before that. And nobody argues it is not a very big school for partying.
Well, look, we've never said we don't want our students to have fun.
The university's president, Graham Spanier, discussed the number one ranking at a faculty senate meeting this fall. The only recording that exists is from a webcast that Penn State did of the meeting, so you'll hear. The audio is a little sketchy, but still fine.
I mean, when people talk about, oh, Penn State's a party school, I'm not, that doesn't bother me at all, actually. I wish we weren't ranked number 1. You know why we're ranked number 1? Have we talked about this? You know why we're ranked number 1? The students vote. It's not like somebody came in here and did an assessment of the place. It's an online web-based thing. And whenever there's an online web-based thing, Penn State always wins. We have the best mascot in the country. We probably do, but I guarantee you any online voting for the best mascot in the country, we're going to win that. You know, we're the number 1 university on Facebook. We're the number 1 university with Twitter. So when when these party school things, our students get online and vote, of course they want to be voted number 1. Yeah, Penn State. Then I have to clean up the mess after the votes are in. Because I got all the donors and alumni and the media calling for comments.
The amount of drinking at the school does concern Spanier. He told the faculty that when people ask him what's the biggest problem at Penn State, they always expect him to say money. But the answer for a long time has been alcohol. And he said it's a problem that's bigger than Penn State. Nearly a third of high school seniors across the country binge drink.
So it's a bit of a problem that we inherit, but we also have a cultural environment here, an atmosphere that fosters it.
Well, today we devote our entire show to the nation's number 1 party school. Not because it's number 1 and what happens here is unusual, but because it's not unusual at all. Lots of schools, especially a lot of big state schools, do this much partying. 5 of us from our staff went down to State College where Sarah lives to record one football weekend in November. What we bring you today is a travelogue from this place where the rules and norms are probably very different from where you live right now. Its own rituals, its own jargon, its own native dress. We wanted to see what it was all about. Our show today in 4 acts, only 3 of them actually pre-soaked in vodka. From WBEZ Chicago, it's This American Life, distributed by Public Radio International. I'm Ira Glass. Stay with us. This song, by the way, was playing everywhere we went in State College. Thank you, Miley. Act 1.